In a world in crisis, can three idiots find hope in the darkest of places? Will love conquer all, or will hate win out in the end? This is a show called Hate.
Well, hello, and welcome to A Show Called Hate, a podcast in which we explore love, hate, and everything in between in search of greater meaning and perhaps a little perspective. I'm John.
I'm Nick.
I'm Chris.
Ooh, together again.
Oh, it's a good
Except not.
newspaper.
We're not together.
There's a really weird energy. I was going to say in the room, but really, I guess in like
In the cloud.
out in the cloud, mostly because the sun is shining.
Yeah.
And it's not like the dead of night, which is when we normally record, and we're not all packed into a little armpit of a room where we...
You know, 2 beers in.
Yeah,
I'm only half a beer in.
Right.
This was going to be a very sober, a very special episode of A Show Called Hate. But what? At least one of us has alcohol. Try to guess which one. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
What'd you say to me?
You're lucky you're at least 2 meters away from me at all times.
It's time to play the game. Which one of us is drinking?
No. It's
Well,
me, for the record.
Oh, I never would have guessed.
I'm drinking
That's
my
so
latest
good.
beer subscription. I'm getting beer just delivered to the door now. It's fantastic.
Is this like Loot Crate, but I guess just beer crate?
Beer crate, yeah. It's just crate.
Is it? So what? Is it like a booze club thing? Do they send
Well,
you different ones?
There is such a thing, but I've unsubscribed to that one because I found a better offer just with a random brewery. So I'm drinking 24 bottles of Freedom Lager.
In one session?
Yeah, in one
Drinking
go,
all of
yeah.
them right now, yeah.
No, I'm drinking just the 2 during this episode, probably.
Where does Freedom Lager come from?
That's a good question, John. It comes from Staffordshire,
America.
England. The Freedom
It
Brewery
comes from what?
Staffordshire. So I would imagine it's from the brewery in Burton.
Oh yeah, because you've got a connection to that particular neck of the woods, haven't
I
you?
have. I went to university in that county. So I know the local breweries like the back of my hand.
They're like, oh, he's back again.
He's back. The guy from Stoke, but he's
Good God, lock the doors, my God.
I love the idea that just because you went to university there, automatically you know all the breweries really well.
Oh, you got to.
Yeah.
God knows he wasn't there to get an education.
Sure.
Well, this is a vegan beer as well, I'm drinking. I've only just found that out from reading the label on the back.
Do you take issue with that?
Not really, because it's not saying it's something it's not. It is still beer.
That's true, I guess.
So I'm all right with that. That's fine. Again, I'll say it again. I don't care if you're vegan or not. Don't care.
So, but just to clarify, it's not ruining the good name of beer.
No, not as far as I'm concerned, anyway.
Okay.
It's actually it's a very nice lager, actually. Freedom Lager. And there's an offer on if you go on the internet and look them up. Not a sponsor. Not a sponsor.
You did actually inspire me to place an order with the brewery.
Yeah.
No, I can't wait. I mean, right now, I'm not saying I need a beer.
Well, you were telling us off air just before we came on that you had reached a desperate situation that you'd run out of alcohol.
Yes, indeed. Well, it's true. It's true. I mean, some might say, "Oh, look, the cupboard is empty." Others might say, "Oh, I can't believe my precious insulin. I mean, alcohol isn't here. I better get to a pharmacy."
Yeah.
I mean, speakeasy as quickly as possible. Like, I just discovering I very much enjoy drinking.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you got to.
Never to excess, you know. I just really like that booze.
The thing is, I'm not drinking any more or less than I did before all this. It's just that usually I condense it all into one Saturday, whereas
Sure.
now I'm spreading out across the week.
I mean, your liver is probably delighted.
He's probably like, he stopped, but why?
Is he okay?
Yeah.
What did I do? Was it something I did?
Yeah. He's feeling neglected at the moment.
Mm.
Well, we were also talking off air, and I guess another thing you've inspired me in, Rev. I haven't quite reached the drinking piss stage, but I have now cut my own hair.
Oh, have you?
That's the beginning of the
Yes.
end.
How did
Maybe I'll
that
never go back. Well, you know what? Fairly pleased with it.
I mean,
Very
we're
good.
not there to see it, so
Is this the post I
No.
saw on social media earlier?
Yes, but that was before
I
the revision.
I understand.
before the
I went-
DLC.
Before the DLC, I went back in 2 days later, as in this morning, and made a bit of an edit to it.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
So you
Well, yeah.
Can I just clarify that you did this yourself?
Yes, I had a
Oh.
little bit of hair.
God.
What? What? You cut your own hair?
No, Liz cut mine.
Oh my god! What have I done?
Yeah. And to be fair, all she had to do was just shave the side and the back. The rest is just untouched.
Well, that's the thing. I'm not going in with like aspirations of like, oh, bit of feathering, get the scissors out, all that kind of stuff. I am going in with a razor, and
Oh, God.
I've buzzed the sides and back of my head.
What grade are we talking?
As big as my beard trimmer will go.
Okay.
It's
Sure.
maybe like a metric imperial kind of thing. Like I don't know if it all.
I don't know whether the
counts.
numbers are the same from one device to the next. I've never worked
That
out.
is true. Yeah, because I've gone for like a 10, which is the biggest.
I mean, that's futile. I wouldn't even bother with a 10.
Yeah.
I bet it's
pretty long.
longer than it was when you started.
Are you kidding? No, it took about like 3 inches off my
Oh,
hair.
did it? All
Oh,
right.
okay. You must have been
Yeah.
in a bad way.
Well, no, but you know me. You know how big my hair generally is on
That is
a
true.
daily basis. Like what I'm saying is a 10 in beard units
Okay.
feels quite.
Oh, okay.
long.
I understand. Sorry. I misunderstood what you were saying there.
I do apologise. No,
yeah,
the the onus is on me to make myself understood.
Yeah.
But no, if I'd gone to like a 1 or a 2, I would be bald right now. I'd have.
Oh,
nothing.
yeah. You would. Yeah, big time.
Have you seen those head shavers that look like they kind of look like the shape of a UFO, and you just hold
Yeah.
it, and you just plonk it on your head, and you just go all over it, and it's just for getting the same sort of length.
It's like
over
a
the whole thing.
Roomba for your head.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
You just let go and it goes to town.
and then starts to take your scalp off. Oh no! Why was I programmed to cut hair?
I was thinking about that as well. Like I can definitely see the benefit of just being able to like
I know.
rub like a
You
weird
wouldn't even
hair
need a
UFO.
mirror. You could just stand in the middle of your bedroom, stand on your bed, in fact,
Yeah.
and just like shave away to your heart's content. Leave your mess everywhere, and you're done. Like
Yeah.
I could do it
Done.
anywhere. I could do it.
And then the hair
David's
just
garden.
magically disappears.
Yeah, exactly.
It
I don't
actually
do
comes
anything
with
about
a small charcoal burner inside, and the hair is just incinerated
Yeah.
while you're shaving.
It's like the suck
Have
and
you ever had when you've had like a haircut, has your barber or hairdresser ever surprised you by burning bits of hair off you?
I had that once and I didn't like it.
He burnt because I get these wispy long hairs growing out the top of my ears, which is kind of strange, obviously, kind of like old granddad hair.
Can't wait to see that in 3 months.
Oh, you should see it now. I'm dragging them around behind me on the floor.
You look like Professor Weeto.
Yeah, exactly. I do look like Professor Weeto. I'm going to look him up real quick, but I'm pretty sure he has hair on his ears.
Oh, like you need to look him up. Like you haven't got him bookmarked.
He's actually my
That's what you've
desktop.
modelled your look on.
Yeah, he's made of plasticine, which I forgot.
Mate, is that a recent development? Is he okay?
No, actually, I think he used to be made of plasticine, but he's not anymore. I think he's CGI now. Boo. Anyway, he does basically have hair coming off the top of his ears. So you're correct. Well done. But
that was a complete guess. I think I struck gold.
yes, my barber, who I believe is the same barber as you, John, once wrapped something that looked a bit like cotton wool around the blades of his scissors. then he dipped it in something, then he lit it on fire, and then he rubbed that really quickly over the top of my ears, kind of like you like move your hand through a candle flame really, really quickly. And he was burning away these wispy, long, pointy little hairs that came out the top of my ears. It was great. I loved it.
Do you ever wonder if like we're drunk on power sometimes, like as a species? Because
I thought you meant
like
specifically then.
Well, 1 out of 3 ain't bad.
Yeah.
But it's like we invented scissors, and the world was like, "Oh, I think these are pretty great. Like, I don't think we're really going anywhere with this." And then people were like, "No, I could use scissors, the optimum hairdressing tool, or I could resort to fire, or you mentioned earlier, what was it, the suck and trim or whatever,
suck and cut.
The suck and cut. Yeah, it's like a vacuum cleaner hair cutter.
Yeah,
it's like do we need like a new way of cutting hair? I would argue no. Scissors and a razor are probably good enough.
Are barbers going to suffer because of this new way in which we've discovered we can all cut our own hair to a certain extent?
Oh my god, yeah, good point.
Yeah, I feel we're all going to go through. Society's going to go through like a metamorphosis where basically, like, I haven't worn proper trousers in like 3 weeks. Like, I'm wearing like sweatpants 24/7. I've now cut my own hair.
We're all just going to be feral by the end of this.
Yeah.
This is my point. We're all going to emerge like newborn babes into. Well, when this is all over, we're going to step outside blinking, and we're all going to look at each other, and we're all going to decide whether we like what we see or not.
then head back indoors.
Yeah, and decide we don't like what we see.
It could be a golden era for, but hairdressers.
Could be, yeah.
If they can survive up until the point where we all kind of step out of the bunker.
Thing is, I like my barber. I get along with him very well. I see him socially out and about sometimes. So I'll still go with my barber. But that said, my hair for a botch job at the moment doesn't look completely terrible. Sure. If I say so myself.
You skew towards more of a utilitarian kind of hairstyle.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was a compliment.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Oh, screw you, John.
No. It was not meant in the manner in which it was delivered. No, it is. I just mean like, if you had anything more complex, I wouldn't want to reliably cut my own hair.
No, fair one.
Yeah. What kind of sucks is that, like, when you start Googling, like, how do I cut my own hair, or like guidance for cut, which I've done, in the last few days. The best guidance and video tutorials you can basically find just say like, pick up a razor, start cutting, don't fuck it up. Like, that's pretty much as far as it goes.
Yeah, to be fair, that covers it, I think.
Well, I used to shave my own head just anyway, and then eventually I thought, I should probably get a hairstyle because this I can't go around like this for the rest of my life. But then I used the old clippers that I used from then, and they must be about 20 years old, these clippers, and they still worked all right.
Are they proper hair clippers versus like
they are.
Yeah, there you go.
I think if I'm going to make a habit of this, I'm going to need something with a bit more bite. I think. A bit more clout.
I bet they're doing well, like hair clipper sales.
There's like a dusty warehouse somewhere, and an elderly man comes rushing into the back room. It happened. It finally happened. Dust off the vanguards. Get them in the post. I get on well with my hairdresser as well. He's a good chap. I think he's a much cooler man than me.
Oh, and I think you're being a bit harsh on yourself.
Oh well.
He is way cooler than John.
Yeah,
fair enough then.
I'm already coming from a pretty good place, so think about like just that benchmark, and then imagining someone who's like 10 times that. So I've basically given myself the haircut now, which he generally starts with. So like,
the base level.
Yeah, it's like when I go for a haircut, because I've got a lot going on up there.
Oh yeah.
He starts off, gets the razor out, and he buzzes all around the sides and the back. You do the grunt work with the power tools.
It's just the foundation, kind of, isn't it?
Yeah, we're just setting the scene
on which we're going to build a castle of hair.
And every time,
is that what he says every time he cuts your hair?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, it's really weird.
Every time he does it, I think to myself internally at that point, I think, oh, it looks pretty good. Like I kind of like the fact where he leaves me with this crazy pineapple on top, but kind of short around the side.
That's where you are right now. Okay.
And I kind of think I think I said to him once, I said, oh, looks pretty good as it is, kind of half joking, saying, oh, I kind of like this.
Just testing the water to see if he thinks you're an idiot for saying it.
Yeah, but then he always goes like essentially saying like, no, you're not leaving the place looking like that. Like you'll put me out of business.
It's his reputation on the line here. Like you represent him every step you take around town.
Yeah, I'm like a walking billboard.
Exactly.
And so he always makes me look better than I probably deserve, and also probably better than my ego would actually lower itself to. Like I'm generally quite happy with the slightly wild and stupid look, but it's a bit hard to ask a barber to kind of give you a bad haircut.
Yeah.
Do you ever look at yourself in the mirror at the barber's and you're like sitting there staring at your own reflection for 15 minutes minimum and think, fucking hell, what happened?
Yeah.
What on earth happened to me? Look what I've done to myself.
You had so much promise.
Yeah. I used to be so youthful and optimistic, but now
I just look at myself and think, oh my God, that's what other people see. The poor bastards.
My thing is, I hate my resting face. Like I know, when I'm not talking, I really don't know what to do with my mouth. I know that sounds stupid, so that's why.
Are you consciously aware of it all the time, or is it just?
Yes. Yeah. No. This is just my weird little. Everyone's got something, my thing is like, I don't know what to do with my mouth, which is why if you ever see me in person, I do a lot with my hands. Like I'm always like either like stroking my chin to cover my mouth, or kind of like just kind of like one finger on my lips, going like yes, good point.
I can't say I've noticed that either, to be honest.
Well, good. It means up until now the illusion has been working.
Yeah. Now I'm going to notice it. Now I'm going to look actually, I never see you now.
Thing is, by the time I see you again, I will have forgotten this conversation.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Yeah.
By the time you see me again, I'll have forgotten my name.
Yeah.
I'll have forgotten be like Lord of the Flies up in here.
Just nobody will have any social skills. It'll be like, Matt, you beer for you.
It'd be like 2001. Sorry, all the film references today.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, before we get into it, we should talk about our recent brush with fame.
Oh yeah.
You took the words right out of my mouth, Nick.
There we go. So yeah.
Well, who's gonna be brave enough to say it?
We were on BBC Radio Gloucester.
We were.
All three of us on separate nights. In fact, we basically took over a week of their programming. I'd say. I think it's a fairly safe way to put it.
Yeah, they apparently they loved us so much they kept getting us back in.
Yeah,
this is all off the back of a tweet, by the way. So don't let anyone tell you.
They came to us.
They did.
They came to us. It's worth pointing that out.
You tweeted about the show, John.
I did. I think. Yeah, I think I just made it was like a Jeff Goldblum gif and like a little comment about how that we were like basically the real heroes of the current situation because we were recording slightly more frequently. All those selfish doctors and nurses. So we were, and I think they just kind of spotted that among all the kind of like coronavirus-y kind of stuff going on, and they reached out and they said, "Hey, do you want to come on air? You can be our guest host for the evening," because they often have like a muggle on. They have like a random member of the public calling in from home.
Thing is, you were like guest host of the show, but your audio clips were about 45 minutes apart at any one time.
Yeah, that's how it was described to me. They said,
did you record them all in the space of about 15 minutes?
Well, no, it was like they got me on air and they got me on the line, and I was sitting at my computer like I am now. and they said, okay, we'll need you for like 40 minutes. We're going to record some segments, have a little chat, but then we'll space it out throughout the show. So you'll be like, it will seem like you're on for 3 hours or so when you're really just recording like a small segment.
Oh.
They neglected to mention that there would be a live segment in the middle of that. So I went in thinking like, oh, this would be nice. We'll just record like a little kind of a little bit of chitter chatter, and then they're like, okay, and okay, well, you're going on air in like 3,
oh
2,
God.
1. I was like, oh crap, no, don't say crap. But no, it was fine. It was perfectly pleasant, and then I got to introduce Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga.
Oh, yeah.
I've never heard so much disdain in your voice as when you had to introduce Lily Allen and then Lady Gaga.
It's not disdain.
It came across that way, John. It came across that way.
The very, very nice lady who was recording me did not say, okay, that was great, John. Can you try it again without the attitude?
Yeah, maybe she should have.
She didn't know. She said
when you went, and now it's like The Climb or whatever it's called by Lily Allen. I just burst out laughing.
Maybe you're kind of extrapolating. You're putting emotion onto that just because you've never heard me ever say the words Lily Allen.
Probably.
Yeah.
But I got to listen to more contemporary pop music than I've probably heard in the last 5 years, I'd say.
You're listening to.
But yeah, I heard a track by Lizzo.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. What's a Lizzo?
Is she not a person?
Yeah,
is she not a?
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that individual.
It was really good.
Okay.
Yeah, she is really good actually. Yeah.
I've got to say that was a breakout hit in amongst all the Justin Biebers and the rest.
The Biebers.
Mm. But then they called me back a couple of days later and they said, John, baby,
John, we want you back.
We want you.
This is your agent, John. You're blowing up. You're going viral, John.
Just look at the tweaks.
Look at these numbers, John. Where are you getting these from? Just look at the numbers, John. Don't ask me questions.
That's a phone book. I know. That's how I found you.
What can't speak can't lie, John.
And they said we loved you. We loved you so much. We loved the energy you were bringing to the room. And they said, do you want to come back for a quiz? And I looked at my busy social calendar and I said, no. You know what? I think I can I'll squeeze you in.
Might as well.
And brought some buddies.
It was us.
It was us. You guys.
It was us. Yeah, I remember now. Yeah.
Yeah. So we had a night each, didn't we? You were the first night, John. Then it was you, Chris, and it was me.
Correct.
Now I have to say, if I'm going to embarrass myself, I do prefer to do it live on air.
Yeah.
I did not do great. I have to say
you didn't do great, and I remember I listened. I didn't listen to it live, but I listened to it after the fact, and I was like, "Oh no," which I think was also what you were saying at the time. Practically every question you were asked, every single question you were asked, you went, "Oh no."
Yeah. Because we've been doing a fair amount of like home pub quizzes recently, many of which have been organised by our good friend Chris Ray.
You're welcome. Yes,
who's here tonight? Who's doing a fine job. He's doing a fine job.
Oh, you're very kind.
And the old standard pub quiz. It's great. Bit of food and drink, bit of general knowledge, that sort of thing.
This was not that.
No, this is like it's current affairs.
But it was local current affairs as
much
as
like
anything.
Hyper local, hyper current affairs. It was things that had happened in the last, say, week, maybe less time than that. I had a question that was that day, and all the kind of news that's sort of like far like adjacent to the main stories we all know and have heard.
I know, and I didn't want to I had a question about it was which popular BBC drama is returning to the screen on Monday?
Yeah.
And I didn't have a clue. And I didn't want to be the guy who said on BBC local radio, well, I don't... Oh, God knows, I don't watch the BBC.
I don't watch television.
Yeah,
Where's the thing?
Like, if it's not on Netflix and it's not on YouTube, I really don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry.
I know. I'm that guy. I'm that asshole millennial who doesn't watch. I still call it terrestrial TV.
Yeah.
I don't watch terrestrial TV anymore.
The thing is, I got 3 of yours, and then I was like, "Oh, this is going to be fine. I'll be fine tomorrow. This will be great. Oh yeah, I can't wait." And then I got 0 as well.
Well, you got half a point, Chris.
Oh, I got half a point because I argued with the presenter.
You did argue, as you are wont to do. And
You were belligerent and spirited.
Yeah.
He broke his core tenet rules and gave you half a point.
Gave me half a point, which he later
really glad he
retracted.
did.
Really,
Well,
I felt like he went back on that slightly.
He wanted to, but he couldn't because he knew he'd already done it. And
Well.
the floodgates were open now, and it was those very floodgates that allowed me to also gain a half point.
You capitalised on my belligerence.
Oh, I very much did. Very, very much did. Because his heart was softened at that point.
Yeah.
But it didn't count for anything because we were all still basically rubbish at all of these questions. And I know it sounds a little bit like we're making excuses. Oh yeah, it was really current. Oh, it was really local. Yeah. But the truth of the matter is that 3 guys who do a podcast knew fuck all about what they were asking, and we were fucking shit at it.
We were terrible.
Yeah.
I was just begging, like, please give me one question about a cartoon robot. That's all.
That's why I spent most of my life screaming internally.
I know. It's like, it's like what, like Nick, like one question about an anime pirate. That's all I need and ask.
That's all I'm asking. Just anime pirate. Come on. But no, it wasn't to be. And as a result, though, and I would say maybe some might say this was like conspiracy theorists might say that the 3 chaps at the top of the show called Headquarters had a plan for extending their free marketing on BBC Radio Gloucestershire.
You could say that.
By ensuring that there was a tie-break, and therefore they came back for a 4th night.
Yeah.
I've got to say, Nick, I appreciate your dedication in purposefully getting so few points.
Oh, yeah. I did it for the show. We've noticed such a massive spike in listenership since our appearance.
Wouldn't it be amazing if we got more listeners off the back of that? Maybe we will.
Well, we joke. We joke.
But listening now. So in which case, hello and thank you.
Yeah. Hello. I have to say, like, we have had a 100% increase in listens over the past 2 weeks.
1 to 2.
Yeah, well, 100% of nothing is still nothing. So yeah, I think a few people got on board. Now, whether they'll stay, that's enough.
We shall see about that.
Maybe we chose the wrong episode to be our sober one.
Oh my god!
This is the one episode we've got to win these people over who've just joined us, and we're not drinking.
We're not drinking, and we're half an hour in and haven't actually started the show yet.
Oh yeah, we should probably do that. We should probably do the show.
Can we just talk about
Let's talk about the tie break before we start. Yes.
And how I just wish that in every scenario in life I had 2 people to go ahead of me to kind of just whittle out the incorrect choices.
The wrong answers. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's infuriating about our tiebreak question was which music festival is going virtual for the coronavirus lockdown, and that news story. I did some revision on my day on Wednesday of local current affairs news, and that was one of the ones that I wrote down in my notes. And because I didn't think I was going to be answering lots of questions, I threw that away.
Your brain can only hold 5 facts at any time.
Exactly, yeah. So I had this like sheet of notes that were full of like headlines, and the answer to that question was on it, and it was in the bin. And as that tiebreaker came up, I was like, "Oh god damn it! Oh shit!" And so I guessed, and I got it wrong, despite the fact that I'd written it down under 24 hours ago.
Because when he asked the question, there was like a resounding silence. So I was like, okay, so...
Well, I thought you were quite quick to jump in. I was like, oh, he knows.
Well, I was thinking that either people are being like super strategic about this. Because I felt that was a long time of like nothing. And I was
it was very awkward. Like it was dead air, essentially. Like we were killing that radio station as we sat there in silence.
But also, it's like, this is a question about a music festival. I mean, like... It's like they went easy on us. They were like, these young idiots don't know anything. Youngish idiots don't know anything. You know, millennials don't have proper jobs. They go to music festivals. Let's give them something.
Oh shit! Well, we didn't know that either. Great.
No. So I went in with the obvious one. I was like, okay, I don't know the answer. I'm going to say Glastonbury.
Yeah, which was wrong.
Which, of course, is wrong.
Yeah.
When you went in,
it was fair. Yeah.
So, Nick, when you went in with your answer,
yeah,
which was
2,000 trees. Now there was a strategy behind this because I couldn't remember what I'd written, but I also thought that this was probably local news. That is a local festival, so I was like, oh, I bet it's that. So I thought I really felt pretty confident at that point that I had it.
Oh yeah, no, my heart soared at that point because I was like, oh, you sneaky bastard! Like that is a local one. Like he's got to have done it now.
Yeah, but it wasn't to be.
It wasn't
that.
No.
And I'll reveal what happened now. When Nick was answering, I thought I'm going to look it up. So I took the phone away from my ear. I got on Google and I looked it up.
You absolute warrior.
And I thought I'm not going to tell them before we record the show. So yeah, otherwise I would not have got it.
I thought your gloating had been a bit lighter than usual.
Yeah, that's true. I did as well, actually. Certainly in retrospect now. But also, you know what's weird is that despite the fact that I'm furious at you right now, I'm also kind of glad you did it because
we could have been there all night.
Well, not only that, but how worse would it have looked if none of us had got that either? Like, you actually kind of saved our reputations a little bit.
The thing is, I thought they were going to do a question like how many dots are there on a golf ball, and then it'd be like who is the closest to that answer, not an actual question with an answer.
No.
That's a really good question, by the way.
I know the answer to that as well.
What's the answer?
Well, John, the average golf ball has 336 dots on it.
That's a lot of dots.
Yeah, it's a lot of dots. I don't know why. That just is the answer. Bear in mind, I've been hosting a lot of quizzes lately, so if that comes up in one of my future quizzes, now you know the answer.
There we go.
So there you go. So yeah, I was quite pleased to win, even though I fabricated the truth to get there.
If you're listening because you discovered us through the BBC Radio Gloucester show, then I'm sorry Chris Ray cheated on the quiz.
But you should be glad because we would have been there all night. We would have driven that show into the ground.
We would still be there. They'd never let us leave.
Yeah. Your local radio station would be dead and buried if it was anything to do with us. So thank God, Chris cheated.
You've brought the institution of the 1 minute local radio quiz and the entire BBC licence fee into disrepute.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Right, should we get on with the show?
So should we get on with the show?
Go on then. Yeah.
Ostensibly, there is a format to this show. Every week, we bring a topic of love and a topic of hate to the table for discussion to see which one wins out. Who would like to set the scene with a hate?
I'll kick us off, if you like.
Go for it.
Oh.
I really hate Squarespace adverts on YouTube.
Oh my God.
Hello.
I get a lot of these. Like, I think for some reason, YouTube and maybe Google in general has decided that Nick Angel, you, sir, are in need of a website.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that I am party to or in ownership of probably something like 6 websites. That's not enough, I don't think, in YouTube's eyes. So they just shove a Squarespace ad in front of every video I watch. Sometimes I get 2 Squarespace ads in front of a video. And they are always one of 2 types. It's either a man or a woman who is off in some fantastic exotic location, living an incredible life, scantily clad in a tropical sunbeam underneath a palm tree, sat on a beach in a canoe by a waterfall or something, and telling me how easy it is to get their dream life by building a website.
Nick, I'm so glad you had the courage to say this, because for the last 3 episodes, I have been debating bringing up this exact same topic, and really? I didn't, because I feel like I've moaned about YouTube adverts before, so I didn't want to bring it up again, but my God, these adverts have just got really under my skin for some reason. Like, I cannot stand them.
I know. And what's infuriating is that with a lot of ad campaigns, particularly ones that are on YouTube and stuff, that you tend to get, like, there tends to be a group of, say, 5 or 6 of them, and you tend to get them on a kind of cycle. But it seems with these ads that Squarespace only filmed 2. and it's the one where the girl is in this beach house and she's bragging about her paradise life, and the other one is where a guy is sat in a canoe by a waterfall, and he's got like round glasses on, full beard, and everything, and like smells of coconut butter, and it's just so fucking gorgeous as well.
I have to ask, Chris Ray, based on the algorithm, have you seen any of these?
Yeah, oh yeah, big time.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
Thing is, I feel like the algorithm is targeting our ilk in that we all work in relatively media-centric jobs. We're all of a certain age, and we all look like we don't have the technical capability to build our own website.
The thing is, like...
all of which might be true.
All of which probably is true.
We use Squarespace for the Big Punch Studios website, and it's great. I love Squarespace.
I actually love Squarespace. It's great. Like, I actually want to kind of like... You know, when you say, like, you know, is this advert relevant or whatever, I want to contact them and say, big fan of your product. Please don't think I don't like what you've got to offer. But for God's sake, stop showing me these awful adverts. You are killing me. Like, it is an almost visceral reaction when I hear them, where, like, I want to kind of, I cannot race to my phone quickly enough to skip.
Like, she actually says the words, I want to teach you how Squarespace and I can't remember what else.
And marketing.
Else. Marketing, that's right, can give you this dream life. She actually says those
together.
She does this together thing where she puts her hands together as though it's like sort of synergy kind of. And it's what I hate about this, because I'm not generally a big hater on advertising in general. I work in that medium to some extent, and I'm a big believer in advertising is bad because it's bad advertising, not because it's fundamentally bad. And I know that a lot of people disagree with that, but I believe that you could make advertising good and enjoyable, and there's good adverts out there that people don't hate, right? But if you're going to advertise your product by saying it can bring you a dream life, you know, I'm sorry, but that's the oldest, shittest technique in the book. We moved on from that, Squarespace. We don't make promises that websites can't fulfill. That's bullshit.
Daft question. We've talked on previous episodes about, like, certain brands. Do they even need to advertise anymore?
True.
Like, Squarespace got in on the podcast sponsorship kind of game. Like,
that's a good point. We shouldn't badmouth them too much.
But they've been doing that for like a decade. Like, back when there was only one podcast.
Yeah,
you know, like,
they were on it. Yeah,
they've been doing it, and like forever. So, like, aren't Squarespace pretty much like the market leaders in building your own website?
I think it's between them and Wix, because Wix advertises just as much. It's just I don't see theirs anywhere near as much as I see Squarespace, but I'm pretty sure they're out there just as much.
Surely, if you've skipped an advert once on YouTube, YouTube should go, oh, they're not interested. Surely this is the era of smart advertising, that people can realise these things, or the algorithm can pick up on the fact that we just don't care.
Oh, Jesus. I mean, because I watch a lot of... I use my phone, I would say, primarily to watch YouTube videos. Like, when I'm around the house, like when I'm cooking, you know, I put a little YouTube video on. When I'm kind of cleaning, you know, little things like that. I just like having the background noise.
Sure.
And as a result, given like my level of YouTube consumption, at the peak a few weeks ago, I think I was seeing those adverts 10, 15 times a day.
Yeah,
maybe.
I completely agree. Like, it was the only ads I was seeing, and it would be one of those two.
And sometimes multiple times in a video.
Yeah.
Like, if it was a longer video.
Yeah, you'd have the mid one, and then you'd have maybe the one at the end as well, and it's like, oh my
God. And again, I don't want to be the guy who's like, I understand that, like, YouTube have bills to pay, you know, people need to promote their products. I'm not hating on...
Yeah, I completely agree. Like, I'm not against advertising. I'm against these adverts specifically, but I'm also against this idea of using your dream life, but then tying that to something as mundane. Because let's be honest, a website, they are 10 a penny. Like, everyone's got a website in some form or another, and it does not necessarily give you a dream life. There's so much more to it than that, you know?
The thing is, the parodying of these adverts are actually old in themselves. The actual parody of them is old.
Yeah.
So the fact the adverts themselves are still going is quite something.
It's like a 1950s style of advertising, isn't it? Would you like to live on an incredible tropical island? Well, now is your chance.
Buy spam.
I also feel that this is why people hate millennials. Like,
yeah, absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
I almost like... I know we're kind of like I think we are millennials. It's always like a little woolly about like when it actually
we
starts.
technically fall into the gap, yes.
We're kind of like towards the upper age bracket of this, and I'm kind of well aware, sadly, that most of the incredibly successful people in these Squarespace ads are younger than us. Like
Yeah.
I'm coming to terms with that.
I'm
But
not.
like, if you tried to market research and engineer the four most stereotypical millennial case studies for having your own website, I think even the developers of that technology would go, "Oh, this is a bit much." Like, no one's going to believe these are real people. Like, this is impossible.
And that's the thing as well, is that being on the other side of advertising, I do know that these are not real people. Like, you would love to think that they've caught up with two successful travel vloggers or whatever and have decided to make them the focus of their two websites. And there's a very slim chance that that is what happened. But what's more likely than that is that they found two actors, they found a location, and they shot it in 2 days or something and made it look like that, which is far, far, far more likely, and I would bet is what they
you don't think they're real?
No.
Mm.
I do not think they're real at all.
Oh no.
What's weird is that there are 4 core people, which I would see daily. The 4 Squarespace kind of
okay. I only saw 2
advocates.
Tell me.
And what's weird is that despite having seen at least 5 seconds of all their ads before I could run and skip them, and this one time where I couldn't get to my phone in time and the entire ad played out.
Oh my god.
But like, I feel like I know them all quite intimately now, but I have no idea what their names are or really what they kind of do.
This is what makes me think they're not real, because I think if you were going to use real influencers or real vloggers, you'd lean into that. Like, you'd have their name on the screen, you'd have their little handle or their Instagram name or something in a way to show truth and sincerity and trustworthiness and all that sort of stuff. So the fact they haven't done that, I think they're made up.
So to like the collectible football stickers of Squarespace heroes, we've got bearded hipster in a canoe.
Yeah.
We've got lady in a bikini by a palm tree talking about her dream life.
Synergy and dream life. Yeah.
Together, as she says. We've got lady who goes, boom, this video was made using, like, this website was made using Squarespace.
Oh, I have seen her. I see her way less, but I have seen her, yes.
And then we've got the one guy who is clearly not quite as comfortable behind a camera, because everything he says is a little stilted. He says something like, whether you have a new idea, a product, or you want to set up a successful cafe like me, you need Squarespace. Like, I assume he has a cafe. That's all I know about him.
Because YouTube has decided that Nick Angel is not the kind of person who would ever open a cafe. He just does not have the business acumen to run a cafe. So we will not show him that.
Hey now.
But maybe Nick Angel is the kind of guy who'd make some seriously questionable life choices and head off in a canoe into a waterfall. So let's give him that one.
Would there be any scenario in which a representative of Squarespace would show up at your front door and you're in a profession and you go, thanks, but I've no need for a website, and then just close the door on them? I can't think of any profession where they wouldn't have a follow-up question.
Yeah.
Everybody needs a website.
I do wish I could, like, I kind of just want to, like, anonymously say to them or something like, guys, like, you're already getting my money. Like, I'm already paying you. Like, this is a wasted penny. Like, showing this ad to me,
wasted ad. Yeah, this is totally wasted. We're subscribed to you. Like, God damn it.
While we're talking about ads, can I just bring up one of the most insidious and stupid things I saw the other day?
Oh, go on.
Which was a Twitter, like, promoted post that popped up on my feed, and it was a young lad. Kind of like probably late teens, early 20s, cool hair, sitting on a sofa, kind of like talking to either his phone or like his laptop or whatever. And it basically, it's one of those weird promoted posts that's done in a way where it looks like a real post on your timeline.
Yeah.
But I kind of went like, well, hang on a minute, I don't know this guy. Who the hell is it? And he's basically saying like, hey guys, like, you're probably all feeling a little lonely right now, but just so you know, I'm free to chat anytime. Let's just shoot the crap or whatever, and then we can just talk about cool things and things that matter. And I'd already gone into the details of this tweet by this point, so he stopped talking. But then I realized it said this is a promoted message by not even by that guy, not even by that guy going, "Hi, I'm Jazz Sideways, and I'm a hot new influencer on TikTok. Check out my channel." It's like some stock trading app.
Oh,
and
what?
They've clearly hired quote unquote real people to promote their product.
Right.
But in the midst of everything that's going on, their guerrilla advertising is these young hip people just going, "Hey, just hook me up on WhatsApp and we'll have a chat, or come watch my live stream and we'll just hang out and chat because I'm young and hip." And then, hey, you know what I like doing when I'm stuck at home and bored? I love trading stock on this new app.
Yeah.
Maybe you should check it out.
Yeah. There's one thing we all need while we're quarantined and self-isolated is to get into stock trading, I think.
It's so creepy.
It sounds
so
foolproof
dodgy
to me, that theory. Let's all do stock trading and see how we get on.
Well, the comments under it were genius, so I don't think it was really hitting home.
I don't think that campaign was working out so well.
Have you noticed that Squarespace has moved into its second phase of advertising?
Really?
Yeah, I'm seeing new adverts now.
I'm still not.
Are they still on the island, or are they trying to get off it?
No, they're a bit weirder and funkier now. There's a lady who might be a real person because they do name her, where she apparently is a pioneer in the field of flower photography.
Right.
As
in plant flowers, not cooking flowers.
I saw an advert, and it might have been Wix, it might have been Squarespace, but it was Harry Redknapp, and he set up a website for jam roly-polies.
Oh yes, I've seen that one.
I think that was one of them.
I think that's Wix. I think.
Yeah. Which is weird. I don't think Harry Redknapp even knows what a website is.
Does he know what a jam roly-poly is?
Genuinely.
Oh, I could go for a jam roly-poly right
now. Is a jam roly? Does he mean a jam roly-poly, or is that some kind of euphemism?
No, a jam roly-poly is a dessert.
Yeah, in the ad, he's doing actual jam roly-polies.
It's because he was in the Celebrity Jungle a couple of years ago, and he kept going on about jam roly-polies because he was so hungry.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, that's why. See, this is the kind of popular culture stuff that should have got me the quiz result first time round.
I don't want to dwell on what I lost out on, but seriously.
Jesus.
Who else has got a hate?
I've got a hate.
Hit me up.
Come on.
Suntan lotion, sun cream.
Suntan lotion.
It's good for nothing. The sun coming out this week. It's rubbish. The sun coming out this week has got me thinking about how horrible it is to have on your person. Either you have to carry it around in a bottle, or you have to smear it all over you, and then you just feel gross for the rest of the day. You have to Go on.
I was just going to say, when you said you were staring into the mirror at the barbers, and you sometimes wondered where it had all gone wrong.
Maybe that's where it went wrong.
Your blasted leathery skin.
The thing is, I wish I had leathery skin. I just burn. Even if I put factor 50 on, I've got to reapply factor 50, and by that time I've got sand up the crack of my arse because of all the sun lotion everywhere. I've got to put it on again.
Not anywhere near sand.
Where did all the sand come from?
I'm in a field.
Yeah. I've got to keep reapplying, even factor 50, which is basically like covering yourself with A4 sheets of paper. I've got to do that once an hour. I've got to do that once an hour, and even if I miss that once, because God forbid I have a nice time in the sun, I'll burn anyway. Yeah. So what's the bloody point?
But surely, I'm with you. I kind of am, and I'm not. Because
it's a necessary evil. I'll give you that. But there's got to be another way, John.
There's got to be a better way.
What about a parasol, a mid,
like a geisha?
But then why don't I just sit indoors then?
So you want to be in the rays.
I want to be in the sun, like in a beer garden or whatever, when they reopen.
I remember beer gardens.
Yeah, I mean, we'd be in a beer garden right now, wouldn't we? Let's be honest. Anyway,
be recording this.
That's a sidebar, Your Honour. But why should I have to sit in the shade? All right, my skin is fair, blah 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 blah. But why should I either have to smear cream on myself or sit in the shade? There's got to be another way.
I do actually kind of hate the feeling of sun cream on my face in particular. I hate kind of feeling like greasy because
see, that's what it is. It's really greasy and horrible, and you just can't look or feel good when you've got sun cream on.
And yet, the importance of looking after, that pearly white skin,
I've got a solution.
Go on.
You get a morph suit printed of your body.
That is a good solution. I didn't think of that.
So basically, you wait until you're looking your very, very best, skin-wise, to shade, everything.
Yeah.
Your favourite box of shorts, if you will. Then you go into like a massive scanner and just roll around until they've got a full 360 body view of you. Then they just, because they do this on Amazon and eBay and stuff, you can have any custom design printed on the morph suit, chuck that on there, whack that on, you're protected, but you look great. And you'll look that way forever, even if you age.
Now, do you put...
That's a good idea.
Put clothing on top of that, Nick? Or do you...
Yeah,
are you running around
Are you suggesting I get a morph suit with my cock and balls on it and then put swimming trunks on over that?
I'm just saying, if you get a morph suit of you wearing clothes, that's gonna look weird. Heaven forbid it look weird. You're gonna get like
Nick's suggestion, I think, was to have it with you wearing your trunks or your boxers at
least.
Yeah,
your trunks. So you have a few different ones, obviously.
Okay.
I'm not even sure Amazon would want to print a naked morph suit of me.
I don't think they'd do it. I think they'd probably blur it out or something, or they'd put like a little apple there.
It's political correctness gone mad.
It's crazy. Why won't they print my balls?
So you're saying get multiple morph suits printed?
No, I'm saying no. I'm saying get one morph suit printed of you in your boxers or your cock and balls, whatever, and then you wear your actual trunks.
Yeah, over the top, because that will actually make the whole thing look even more realistic.
Aesthetically, that'll look phenomenal.
Yeah,
it'll look great.
That's kind of where I was, but I believe Nick did suggest very briefly that you get different combinations of clothing kind of printed onto morph suits.
Yeah, it depends how freeballing you want to be.
Depends what kind of mood you're in, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Then, you might be feeling a bit flirty.
So do you keep layering them? So you're kind of like...
like Russian dolls.
Yeah, you're like Super Ted.
But you're getting thicker and thicker. Your limbs are getting sort of.
I mean, we're getting into the area of feeling more uncomfortable than when you've got sun cream on now. If you're wearing multiple morph suits in the searing heat.
Well, God knows though, your skin will be nice and safe.
Oh God, yeah, and it'll be like Mission Impossible when you rip off like a face mask and you actually, oh look at me, I'm Tom Cruise.
I'll be so covered in sweat that I'll look like I've just been in the bath.
You'll be like you're reenacting birth.
Yeah.
It's when you finally strip down to that final layer and you just kind of
sloops out of it.
Like you've just been like cut out of a Tonton's carcass. You just kind of like...
I thought they smelled bad on the outside.
Your pupil phase is complete, and you're a beautiful sweaty butterfly coming out.
I like the idea of you start the day wearing like 15 morph suits with your kind of default exterior outfit, and then as the day goes by, you're only ever shedding them.
Yeah,
you just and so you're getting more mobile and kind of thinner as the day goes on. So it's like Tuxedo John. He's going to be
you always start the day in a tuxedo, obviously.
Oh, yeah. And then it's
I'm off to work.
Strip off and you got like your kind of running gear underneath. And then, you get to the end of the day, stumble back to, your doorstep, strip that final one off and just fall naked and exhausted onto the floor of your house.
You've lost 50% of your body weight in stress at this point. So you're basically just bones. Just a jangly bag of bones in a morph suit. But hey, everyone wins.
Oh, it's so bad.
Yeah, it's bad.
I was once in Indonesia, and
In a morph
on the
suit.
In a morph suit, yeah.
in a morph suit, yeah. What a story that was. But I think it was like the first day on like this kind of beautiful tropical environment, and I was like, okay, don't ask me why. It wasn't a smart decision, but I said, okay, look, I don't have any sun cream with me right this second, so I'll tell you what.
That's dangerously arrogant, John.
And I said, well, you know what? I haven't got any right now, so I'll sunbathe.
Oh no! Oh no!
Only for
a couple of minutes.
Yeah, like 3 minutes. I'll just get
0.2 minutes.
I'll spread the love out. So like I'll get all the sun
I'd rather
I
you
would have
didn't.
got in a day.
I wish you put the love away.
I'm going to spread them, and I'm going to get like all that condensed into 3 minutes.
Great.
And it was a bit like flash frying a cow because I felt fine. Felt fine for a little while, and then over the course of a week, I lost all the skin on my shoulders. Basically, it was agonizing. And I was wearing wetsuits a lot as well, and that is not pleasant. Getting a wetsuit onto sunburn.
Oh, that sounds very irritating.
And
Never again.
Skin white
is a lot like a morph suit, so
But I don't like that I have to put so much horrible crap on my skin just to sit out in the sun for 10 minutes.
I understand.
I just feel gross, and it ruins it for me.
The thing is, the alternative, Chris Ray, is I have seen you get sunburn so rapidly on your face that it looked like a gunshot wound.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, like a laser.
I've seen someone, and I won't name him, James P. Oh no, that's too obvious. J Pegram. He got sunburn because we were in. Where were we, John? We were on holiday somewhere. Portugal.
Albufeira.
We're in Portugal. And he didn't put any sun cream on all day, and his lips just exploded.
Oh my!
I'm serious. These photos of him, and his lips are like 3 times the size.
Yikes!
So I appreciate that it has to be done, but I just think it's a horrible way of protecting yourself.
Yep, fair enough. I agree.
And this sunny weather has had me thinking about it, so that's why I've just stayed indoors drinking beer. Cheers.
All the best.
All the best.
I've got a hate.
Go on then.
It's up to John.
I absolutely hate clapping at tech demos and press shows.
Oh. Okay.
So, as in, so imagine Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs.
Jobsy.
He's all Jobsy. He's up on stage. The year is 2008. I don't know. He's got the iPod 2 or whatever.
The iPod.
It's like size of a house brick.
Yeah.
And he goes.
It only costs $12,000.
And he go. And the good news is, it only costs $12,000, and everyone goes, "Whoa!" Yeah, and like now, obviously, a lot of conventions have been and kind of technology shows are being cancelled and whatever. But you always have like, was it E3, like
E3.
the Electronic Entertainment Expo.
Yeah.
Thank you. And so you get like all the big gaming companies, they book out a theatre.
Yeah,
it's such a weird environment because they book out a theatre to have a packed audience of people sit there and essentially listen to an advert for something they're going to make. And
do you think they're actors though?
No, they are members of the public. Yeah, they'll have actors on stage, and it's awful. I think I've talked about that before. Yeah, but they'll say like, okay, so and we're announcing the PlayStation 5, and everyone goes, yeah. They're ripping the seats up and throwing them. It's like a
ripping
Juventus
their morph
match,
sheets off like onto the next layer,
and then they'll start like, okay, and maybe, just maybe, that warrants applause. Okay, great, big announcement. But then over the course of like half an hour, they will continue to
applaud like every statistic or something.
Yeah. Or the same way like when Marvel does like a big, when Marvel or DC do a big press audience screening thing at like San Diego or something, and they'll say the most innocuous thing or the thing, like, they might say something that it's okay to get excited about, but you can't really cheer it because you haven't seen it yet.
Are you talking more about over-exuberance than actual polite applause?
Well, all they run the gamut, but it's basically like when someone goes, and the PlayStation 5 will have the ability to play DVDs, and everyone goes like, and all.
I remember seeing. It was on Red Letter Media. It was a clip of people watching the trailer for The Force Awakens, and it goes dum 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 dum, and it's the Star Wars logo. And it's not an exaggeration. You just hear this one voice go, "Oh my god!"
Because
it's just like, what were you expecting?
What were you expecting it to be? Not Star Wars.
And I think that's it, Rev. I think you've hit the nail on the head, because again, I don't want to shit on people who enjoy that thing. Like, if you are a fan of Star Wars, wonderful, but it's like you've queued for 2 hours to get into a screening, which is literally called like the official Star Wars screening at San Diego. Like, it's not going to be a mystery. Yes, exactly. It's that thing where it's like you just get caught up in the moment.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. Because what I was going to mention is the fact that you get these like really annoying leading phrases that these people will say, and like everyone knows that there's no like inference or subtlety to them at all. So if it's like a Marvel announcement for Endgame or something, they'll be like, and maybe in this installment we'll be seeing 6 familiar gems. And it's like, okay, you all cheer because you're all in a crowd. But if you were like, if you were at your mate's house and you were talking in the kitchen about Marvel movies, and your mate went, and maybe you'll see 6 familiar gems, you'd be like, Gareth, are you talking about the Infinity Stones? Could you get to the point, Gareth? And also, all these mini quiches are good.
But that's the thing, is like, for Marvel at least, they could probably sum up their entire like hour-long presentation with a JPEG of everyone.
Yeah, JPEG.
It's going to be in it. Yeah, it's a JPEG of all the upcoming titles, like they always do.
Yeah.
But it's like, hey guys, click. These are the movies we're making. Thanks for coming. Because they haven't made them yet. Like, they haven't done anything.
All they're doing is teasing us with information which isn't even like major central things. It's just like they don't have anything, so they're just trying to hype everyone up on nothing.
It's not even a fact or a secret. They're just like they're barely statements. They're just like kind of they're just random collections of words. Like, and let's just say our next movie might have 4 leading stars, and everyone goes like, "Whoa, yeah! What did he just confirm? Well, nothing really, but
cue the rampant speculation on YouTube."
Yeah,
and then they'll get like, and the director of that movie is here today, and he'll come on, and it's like, and it's some guy, and no one knows that person, but everyone goes like, yeah, and then they go like, hey, what do you think about the new movie? And he goes, I think it's going to be fundamentally good. No, wait, sorry, no, fantastic. It's going to be fantastic.
I think it's going to be fantastic for all of you.
We're making this one for the fans.
That's 2 on the nose. Like, no.
No, he goes, oh, no, wait, no one applauded. It will look better when it's written down.
Yeah.
It's like
a 4 appears on the screen.
So, and I think what annoys me the most is that I'm probably not above it. Like,
I do feel myself getting pumped up for, let's say, a big Marvel movie, for example.
Yeah.
And I'm
more
not
so
saying
than I'm proud to admit.
I know, and my point is very much not that. Yeah, you get excited. Like, please get excited. I get excited about things. I just mean, like, I feel I'm a fairly cynical person at heart, and yet, if you put me in a room in that environment, I'd be like, well, I'm not going to applaud to this. This is ridiculous. And then they'll say like, yes, but now you can play games with your friends online via the internet, and everyone will go like, yeah, and I'll be like, oh, yes.
This is kind of what I'm getting at with like my Gareth's kitchen anecdote. It's like if Gareth is there telling you and trying to tease you about the 6 Infinity Gems, it's like, well, Gareth, just get to the point. But if you're like actually there and someone's doing this really tenuous, crappy, like non-subtle kind of intro, you're like, yeah! It just gets so into it.
But this is how and the next step from this is fascism. This is
that's a big leap.
No, this is my point. This is how it happens. Everyone goes like, "Oh no, we'd never have, we're never going to fall to fascism or whatever." And then this is why people like political rallies. Like,
yeah,
you just suddenly like, you know what? I never really thought about blaming all my problems on a minority, but actually, this person in the odd uniform on stage makes a compelling argument.
You know what I'm thinking? I think Thanos has a point, actually.
No, think about it. They are stealing all my jobs.
We do need to remove 50% of the people in the universe to save all of our jobs.
So, yeah, what I'm saying is there's a clear line of progression from applauding a tech demo to a totalitarian government.
I can't think about Apple without thinking about the guy who got the first iPhone dropping it on the floor live on telly. That was great.
That was amazing.
That was one of the best moments of my life.
Wasn't there? Didn't Tesla have that weird car a few months ago?
Yeah, and then he said the windows.
Oh yeah, and then he hit it with like a ball bearing or something, and it smashed.
Yeah, and weirdly, he didn't seem that bothered about it either. He was just sort of laughing, and it may have been laughing to hide his absolute furiousness with his employees who were all going to be fired the next day.
Oh yeah, then he fired 30% of the workforce because of that.
Yeah, but it was like, oh well, obviously that's not the right glass or something. It's like, this looks really bad, dude. You really goofed this one.
I mean, that. There are certain scenarios where that's funny, but if you were like doing a tech demo for a new bulletproof jacket, like you don't want to be
on stage.
The guy just bled out on stage.
Fuck.
But it's like you the CEO is like he calls up like a guy from the tech team, and he's wearing like the bulletproof jacket, and goes, "And we are so proud of the new bullet stopping capacity of our jacket. We're going to test it live on stage." Whips out a pistol and shoots this guy in the head. It's like,
no,
fuck,
shit! You shot the wrong bit.
Sorry, my instincts kicked in.
I just needed to go for the head.
That piece of the morph suit wasn't bulletproof.
You see, if you've been wearing 15 morph suits, you might actually be bulletproof.
Yeah, it would just be like being hit with a sledgehammer, but it wouldn't pierce. And that's
Where's
important.
Mythbusters when you need them? Like, can't we bring that show back just to test how many morph suits you'd need to be bulletproof?
Or how many morph suits you'd need to wear before you died?
No, you'd have a pipe or something.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
For air.
Great.
And excretion.
Oh, God. So do we have
one pipe.
Do we have any community hates?
Yeah, we do, actually. We do.
Thank God.
Okay. So we reached out to our wonderful listeners to see what they were loving and hating during the current situation, and we've got a few coming in on I'm just
coming in live, coming in hot.
The messenger pigeons are throwing themselves against the window as we speak. Oh God, they're dying in droves.
It's horrible, good Lord.
But at least we'll have food for the next week.
Yeah.
Andrew Stevens, friend of the show, right?
Steve-O.
Old Steve-O goes, "I hate how quickly I'm eating snacks."
Oh.
Okay, yeah, no, actually, I can massively relate to this. I am going through snacks like some sort of horribly possessed conveyor belt, and I don't understand why. I don't understand what. Help me! Someone send something. Good Lord, I had 2 sausage rolls before I started this podcast, and you know what I'm like with sausage rolls. I love a sausage roll, but shit me to death.
And you will, God willing.
Yeah. Based on that, you probably will.
Did you ever watch a kids program called Bertha?
I know of it. I don't think I ever watched it.
It was made by the same people who made like Postman Pat. I think, and it was about a factory, and they had a massive machine called Bertha, and every episode was about like all the people in the factory. Basically, Bertha could make anything. Like you put something in, and then something came out. So there'd be a whole episode about making springs or whatever. But the catch is that Bertha was a giant immobile machine with a mouth and a conveyor belt. And the conveyor belt went into her mouth. Sure. And she had eyes and kind of like weird like teeth flappy like
plastic
perspex sheets kind of like hanging down. It kind of makes me think of you.
Yeah, I think that's probably quite that could be my new profile picture actually.
You should Google it actually.
Bertha animated series. Yes, I'm seeing it now. Yes, you described the teeth very well actually. That was spot on. Weird. But yeah, I do totally get Andrew's point here, because for some reason I'm having to buy more things that I'm sort of trying to fill my food voids, as I refer to the periods between meals. I'm trying to fill these food voids with just something that's like, it's not even I need it. It's like mouth entertainment, as my wife would put it, which I think is a really good phrase. I just want something to entertain me, my mouth bits. And but there's not enough variation in the world to satisfy me.
I gotta say, like, we're doing a lot of cooking, being at home now, and very much enjoying it. I think our actual meal quality has gone up. Like we're cooking. Oh, it's great.
Yeah,
But as you say, it's that kind of flavor desert between the meals where you're kind of like, you're just kind of looking for something to chew on. Like you're not. Yeah, exactly. I don't really mind what, as long as like it's maybe like crunchy. Maybe it's got like some salt on it. I'm quite happy. Like
cheese is good for me. I've been going for cheese.
Just a whole block of queso.
I've been reaching for cheese.
I've been eating a lot of biscuits, and I've been drinking a lot of beer, as I said earlier.
You did mention that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do think I might be packing on a few pounds for the winter months at this rate.
I actually think I've lost weight. Weirdly, I feel like I've lost weight in the last couple of weeks. Don't know why. I suppose I've been walking the dog every day, but I do that anyway. I don't know.
It's all the energy you're putting into chewing.
Yeah, that must be it. That must be it. And lifting like the bottle up to my mouth every 2 seconds.
That's a big one.
Yeah, we've basically polished off a couple of Easter eggs in a day.
Nice.
You know,
that reminds me, we've got some of those ready for this weekend.
Like, I'm facing the prospect of going back to the supermarket either today or tomorrow. So I've just got to wait until my I've hammered more nails into that baseball bat. But
which supermarket are you going to?
I'm not going to tell you that.
Why?
I need to minimise the competition. Okay, sorry, no, but yeah, like the real danger will be not running out of the essentials like rice or tomatoes or whatever. It'll be running out of crackers. It'll be running out of the sweet Polish chocolates that I crave on a daily basis.
Yeah, we had some jet skis, which I think is what they're called, but they were
so good.
So good. What else we got?
I hate, says Liz Thatcher, friend of the show.
A very pretty name.
It's a very pretty name. I hate how when people are saying, "Oh, because of the lockdown, my house has never been cleaner." Liz points out that how can that be true when there are now 3 of us in the house making a mess 24 hours a day? The house has never been harder to keep clean.
Well, I think both things are true, aren't they? It's never been dirtier and cleaner at the same time, but it depends which part of the day you're talking about.
I don't think that's true at all. What are you saying?
I'm saying that we clean it so it's clean, but then it gets dirtier quicker after it's clean.
So you're on a more regular wave, as it were.
Yes, exactly.
You're saying the high. You're experiencing dizzying highs and crushing lows, rather than this.
Just generally
horrible...
in life, yeah.
Yeah.
I do feel like I'm tidying more often.
I mowed the lawn. I don't do that very often. The lawn's been mowed. We cut some trees down and what have you. So yeah, we're doing stuff. So it's more organised, but yeah, probably generally it's not that much cleaner.
I did a big clean of the house kind of a few weeks ago before everything went to heck, and I kind of was hoping that would last me until about September. But we opened all the windows today, which seemed like a nice thing to do because it was really hot outside and the wind was lovely. And all it did was kick up like massive clouds of dust, which were just kind of like blowing across the room. So I'm like, I think I'm going to need to have to clean again. And also, I've been cutting my hair at home, and I have a lot of hair. So like,
it's everywhere now.
Yeah, it takes like 2 rungs with the Hoover to repair the bathroom after what I do to it.
Oh, good lord.
That's disgusting.
Fun fact, like, my fursuit cosplay was basically complete after I cut my hair. Like, Jesus Christ.
Oh,
yeah,
I'm so happy for you.
I was absolutely caked. My hair is like a force of nature. It is astonishing like how much of it there is. I've got another hate.
Another hate? Yeah, who's this?
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, it's from Louis, friend of the show.
Louis.
Louis hates how he's worried that the current climate is becoming the norm, and he hates how when this is all over, he may never be able to recover and will still be a hermit long after the dust settles.
Keep it light, John. Jesus.
Leave him laughing.
I was thinking about this. I found myself looking at people as they walk down the street when I'm in the kitchen, and I'm sitting there thinking, are you inside your 1 hour of allowed exercise time? You know, what are you? I'm judging everyone who walks past, and I can feel people judging me as I go for a walk just to clear my head or something. It's like, does he need to do that? Why is he out? Is he infected? Is he going to touch me? Will he spit on me? If he spits, will he spit me from here? I don't know. Have I got a tape measure? How far does the average man spit? Oh, good God. Why have I been thinking about this for so long? You know, that sort of thing, which I'm sure we're all going.
And then the blood drains from your face as you see a man walking down the street, tongue out, just like slapping it left to right.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's funny, isn't it? Like, I think I talked on a previous show about how much I'm actually very much enjoying spending more time at home, this quieter way of life. But yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it? Because I'm missing being able to socialize with my friends. I'm missing being able to kind of even just go around someone's house and play a game or have a drink or something like that. That's what I'm kind of missing, I think. But I could definitely if I just had to spend the rest of my life just kind of doing gardening and a bit of work at home, and as long as the food keeps coming in and I've got beer, I'd probably be all right, he said.
I think we'd be all right. We'll fall back into it quickly as we've fallen out of it, I think.
I think so. I just think there's going to be this weird adjustment period, sort of following on from what I was saying about the way people look at each other when you're out and about. It's like when we're all allowed to go back out, is there still going to be this element of should we be? Should I be? Should they be? You know, I know almost a little bit social pressure and thinking maybe it's safer just to stay inside and not bother going out.
It's funny how I wonder. It's almost like a week ago we were all talking about the milk of human kindness and how everyone was kind of rallying together and being really nice to each other, and that's still kind of happening. But there is that slight kind of curtain twitcher element coming in where you're now kind of you're looking at everyone going oh, is that person wasn't in the house a minute ago, what's the postman doing back there,
I went for a walk today, as I mentioned, and part of my walk. Yeah, I know. I wasn't out for very long, and I kept away from everybody. I only spat at 3 children.
Oh, very good.
And one part of the walk is sort of on a raised bit, and you can sort of look down into people's gardens, and I love a look into a garden.
Oh, they love looking out those. I know exactly what you mean. They love looking out into the field, those people.
Yeah, exactly. And one of the gardens, there were 2 old ladies sat having a cup of tea on one of their patio, I can only assume. And I was thinking, you probably don't live in the same house.
No.
Because, why would you be? You might be buddies, you might be housemates, but at that age, they were probably late 70s, early 80s. is it that likely that they would be sharing a house together? In which case, did you just go over to your neighbour or friend's house for a cup of tea? And I'm not trying to judge, but what I'm saying is I'm having this entire thought process as I'm looking down on these two old ladies having a cup of tea in the back of their garden. I'm judging them. I'm starting to try and work out how it could be okay that they're allowed to have a cup of tea.
I think that's the danger, isn't it? Like, I think people have, for the most part, been pretty good about it all. But I guess, like, the longer you leave it,
yeah,
people might start getting, like, a little stir crazy
Like,
and might start going, well, nothing's happened yet, so I'm probably fine to,
I'll just go see Agnes, and I'll, we'll just talk about those Infinity Stones for a bit.
Because again, like, it only works as long as everyone's kind of playing the game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, as is the case for most of society. And
I know. Oh god, like, the last time I'm trying not. I don't want to like just kind of like rant about like the situation, but like I remember going to last time I went to the supermarket last week. I'm doing my damnedest to like follow the instructions and stay away from people, and they've got a one-way system, all that kind of stuff. And yet there's like old people, like it's like I've got a gravitational pull. Like I was just looking at like some tinned goods, and this elderly man just kind of walked up and basically put his tongue in my ear. Like, might as well.
What an image. What a mental image I've got at the moment.
Basically, might as well have been giving me mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. He was so close. And I'm like, what are you doing? You stand to lose so much more.
Yeah.
There are some people, and it does seem to be older people, who either don't care or don't understand. It's one of them. There's a guy, sort of a friend of a friend who I know, and he keeps going around his brother's house, and he's being told you can't go out. He's like, no, it's fine. It's I can go out once a day, no, but not to someone's house.
Yeah,
and it's like, why am I explaining this to you again?
I can
Why is it so hard?
I can make one trip a day, yes, but not to the cinema.
Yeah,
Don't
go to the ICU, for crying out loud.
He just got walking around the vulnerable person's aisle.
You look a bit peaky. Oh, he looks like shit. Oh god.
Oh, your hands are so cold. Let me breathe on them. You got some dirt on your forehead. Let me.
I've got
it. Jesus Christ! Just stay away from people. Okay. And
do you have any community loves?
We'll tell you what. Here's an interesting one because it segues nicely the pivot point. Alice Angel writes into the show. Who's Alice? I guess we'll never know.
And I guess we won't. No, there's no way of knowing for sure.
And says, I hate not playing Animal Crossing. And at the same time says, I love playing Animal Crossing.
What is Animal Crossing?
Right, so Animal Crossing is a Nintendo game that.
What's a Nintendo?
Nintendo Switch. I'm not going to answer that.
I'm not going to dignify that with an answer.
It's a game that was. It's had many sort of iterations. This is the latest edition that's come out, the most recent one, and it literally launched basically the day before lockdown. I think it came out exactly then.
That's convenient.
A lot of fans very excited about the game leading up to it anyway, and then coupled with the fact that we were going into lockdown made it even more appealing, because what the game essentially is a better version of our life.
Okay.
It's kind of like
speak for yourself, but
yeah, sure. Well, this is the case if you want to go live on a deserted island with a load of little animal friends, live a decidedly cute life where you can interior decorate your home to practically unlimited levels, and just live a sort of stress-free paradise life. And this game comes along exactly when we're all forced to stay inside.
It's kind of like, and I mean this in the nicest way, it's like a game with no point.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly right.
Oh.
Yeah. You basically, and that sounds like a negative, but it really isn't, because it's kind of like, it's quite mindful. You find yourself going about tasks like collecting fruit and digging up fossils and pulling up weeds, and all of that sounds so boring. But what you're doing is you're gradually like driving towards making a bit more money so you can buy a few fancy things for your house to make it look even nicer. And it all just serves nothing other than the act of doing something fairly pleasant and heartwarming in your day. That's really all it is. and it's incredibly popular. Like it's the most successful game selling on the Switch at the moment.
It's charming as hell.
Oh yeah.
Like, I've not dipped my toe into that because I feel I may never come back from it. But I'm enjoying how much people are enjoying it, like vicariously.
There's something very like it's at the expense of no one or nothing. It is decidedly and brilliantly well-meaning and well-spirited.
Oh, wonderful.
And in a world that we live in, where everything seems to have some sort of slightly horrible edge, where it's trying to get something else or achieve something else or push forward some horrible message, this one really isn't. It really is just trying to be as good and as lovely as it can, and it really does promote a kind of like you can talk to the villagers, for example, that live in your town, but you can't say anything bad to them. There's simply never an option. There's different options of things to say, but there's never one like it's just fuck off and get out of my town. You know, like other games would try and give you the ability to make moral choices.
What a game that would be, by the way. Get out of my town.
Well, you know, if you want to play a game like that, just play Fallout or something. Yeah. I don't know, if you want to blow up a whole town.
But it's like you're the only human in
that's a weird thing.
A realm of like anthropomorphic animals. But it's kind of, it walks a very fine line between being like, oh, I wish the world was like this, and have I actually died? And if this were a TV show, the bizarre season finale is discovering you're actually in limbo or something like that. Because like,
it is too good to be true in many ways. Yeah.
You go to like the corner shop and there'll be, I don't know, it'll be like Ruffles the Anteater or something is, you know, and he'll go like, oh, good day, sir. Like, we're a little short on honey. Perhaps you could run me an errand and go find some. You go, okay, sir, I've got nothing else to do. And
this is the game.
You'll just go do that. And then you'll bring it back to Ruffles, and he'll probably let out a hearty belly laugh or something, and then you'll get invited to the evening folk dance or something.
Yeah, like Ali, one of the things you can do in this new version is you can build infrastructure in your island, so you can build like bridges to go over rivers and things like that. And these take quite a lot of money that you have to invest into them, and then they take a couple of days to be built. And once they're built, they're quite a significant new addition to the landscape. And you can then go into the town hall and arrange an opening ceremony for the new piece of infrastructure that you've commissioned. and then it cuts to a little cutscene where everyone, all the inhabitants of the island, all gather on the bridge with party poppers, including you. You're asked to give a speech, and you've only given 3 options of like 2 words to say or something, and one of them is just woo. And then he goes, and now I declare this bridge open, and you all pull a party popper, and that's it. And it's like, this was in service of nothing other than just being fucking adorable.
and that sounds charming as hell. And yet, if you told me, John, I'm now forcing you to go work in civic planning,
that's exactly it.
I'd want to kill myself.
Yes. But yeah, Ali has been playing it basically non-stop. Like, it's been her sort of life preserver amidst all of this, and it's a lovely one, to be fair. So,
should we have one more community love to kind of
go for it?
Okay, so this is echoed by a few people, so I'm going to kind of amalgamate it into one. But people are saying how much they are loving technology at this time. In particular, now other brands are available, but Zoom is getting a lot of shout-outs.
I've been using Zoom an awful lot.
I hadn't even heard of Zoom before all this.
Where did Zoom come from? This is mad.
I think it's always been there, but it wasn't popular until now.
Oh,
and now it's all the rage, isn't it? Like Jesus.
Yeah, what did they do? Like Jesus, yeah. What did they do, though? Because, like, I've been on Zoom as well, and there's really very little difference between it and, say, Skype or Microsoft Teams or any of these other ones you're using.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Multi-video call system, and yet everyone's talking about Zoom.
Look at the footprints in the sand. When you saw only one pair, that's when I was carrying you. I'm Zoom Jesus.
Zoom Jesus. That's the greatest Jesus
I saw a good thing today, which was you may have heard that Zach Braff and Donald Faison are doing a Scrubs rewatch podcast.
Yes, which is insane.
Which is brilliant. And they got Sarah Chalke on the latest episode.
Oh, right.
And they put a screen grab and it was her on Zoom. And then all the replies were going, "Did you Zoom, Zoom, Zoom?" Which I thought was brilliant.
What? Okay, sidebar. What the hell is it about Scrubs right this second? Because I used to really like Scrubs, and then I've gone maybe 10, 15 years without thinking about Scrubs at all. And now, suddenly, everyone's talking about Scrubs again. Like, not just the fact that there's now Zach Braff and Donald.
But I got the box set, the whole complete Scrubs for my birthday, which was a month ago. And now, as you say, all of a sudden, everyone seems to be back on it.
I saw someone wrote a Twitter essay about how important Carla was as a character. I saw that someone's about to publish like a magazine, like a fan magazine of illustrated essays all about Scrubs. I'm like, God. Why now? What stars aligned?
Why now?
Well, there we go.
Is that a beer? That was a beer opening, yes.
Good God. Well, it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Well, it's 4:20 now in the UK.
We're getting there.
In the UK.
Yeah.
Well, look,
we should get with this.
Nick, I believe.
It is me, yes.
Yeah, hit us up.
Here we go. So my love is kids' TV villains.
Ah.
Right? Specifically, and I think I've maybe talked about my love of villains in the past in various capacities, such as Robotnik, but specifically the ones that in the story structure, they always stay in their castle, like their evil dark castle surrounded by lava, and they send their minions out, but their minions fail every episode to catch the heroes, and they never do anything except berate their first lieutenant or whatever. They just stay there and expect it all to work out. And I love these just generally, but what I think is the funniest thing about it is that as a viewer of these shows, and bear in mind I'm still watching these shows, so I'm not referring back to when I was a kid. I still watch this stuff. But like, you always know in your heart of hearts that they're really tough. Like, if they did leave the castle, the hero would be fucked. But they never do.
Are you talking about Lord Zed?
Lord Zed was on my list of examples. Yeah. Like, he's always there. He's got his big Zed stick.
At the end of every episode, he's like, "Oh, you nincompoops have failed me again. Oh, but I'll get you next time, Power Rangers."
But except you won't, Zed, because you never do anything yourself. You just sit there on your fucking metal chrome throne that looks very uncomfortable, I might add, and expect Goldar and that blue pig dude to just do everything for you.
For someone so physically imposing, Goldar was a fucking waste of space.
He really was.
Just thinking about it, like, I don't know, you don't really expect the CEO of a company to, like, run out. No, when I order something off Amazon, Jeff Bezos doesn't turn up on my doorstep. Like,
you make a good point, but Jeff Bezos himself, I don't think, has personal investment as to whether or not you bought that package.
And you're not a threat to his company, John.
Or the planet. I mean, like, Jeff Bezos has actually leveled Angel Grove on several occasions.
Well, he's got to put his new conveyor belt somewhere. But like the equivalent would be like Jeff Bezos' superpower is money, right? And let's say you are an up and coming money superpower, but a much smaller one. He would use his money to smash you personally.
Yeah.
It's like he'd empower someone. Like he'd look into like his looking glass of coins and then like he'd just send like spirals of cash down into someone to like, I don't know, make them grow big. I remember how Power Rangers works. I can't.
Yeah, he'd pick a random employee from the conveyor belt floor, and he'd flood their orifices with money until they grew into some monstrous like capitalist demon, which would then go around and buy out his rival competing.
And then when he threw it, he'd go, "Make my investment grow!"
Yeah, exactly. And then the Power Rangers are basically like, I don't know, socialism rangers or something.
Yeah, in this analogy, Power Rangers are like farm to plate, bespoke hipster brewers, basically.
Yeah, they're the guy in the canoe on the Squarespace app.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Do you have any other examples of kind of like less than hangs-on villains?
Yeah, I do. I have Skeletor.
Classic.
All he ever did was, didn't he have a mate who had wings, and he'd send him out, but he never left. I've got Winter Repulsor and Lord Zed, obviously. I've got Aku from Samurai Jack.
That is true.
He was always just in that big tube, basically, just hanging out and waiting for someone to solve his Samurai Jack problem. Yeah, that was the few I had.
So, based on that, someone like Robotnik actually scores fairly highly because, yes, he builds robots, but he's there on the front line. You know,
he gets his hands dirty.
He does. Well, yeah, kind of, but he does. He's there at the end of every zone, ready to give Sonic a thrashing. He loses.
Did Dick Dastardly ever get his hands dirty?
Well, he was driving.
He was in the race. And I guess he was always like laying traps and things like that.
He sent Muttley to do a lot of his work.
That is true. And maybe it's a synonymous thing with these villains that they're kind of lazy, and that's like one of their flaws, I guess.
Well, based on the corporate hierarchies we're describing here, I would actually much rather, having examined the facts, I would much rather work for Dr. Robotnik than I would for Skeletor. I feel Skeletor shows a level of, he's willing to sacrifice his people, his troops. Yes. He's very removed from the actual running of the business. Whereas I feel like I can imagine Robotnik like helping on a charity fun run.
But
like, what if gets involved?
What if Skeletor offered you a better pension?
What, the Robotnik?
So he didn't get involved, but you get a better pension plan working for Skeletor than you did for Robotnik.
Yeah, but that's only if I survive being sent.
If you survive, but it's risk and reward, isn't it?
I guess it is risk and reward. Yeah
I feel the issue there is that Skeletor's the kind of guy who would never quite get your name right. Like he'd always keep calling you Nick.
Yeah, he would call me Rick.
But as you say, that pension plan is really good.
It's worth the sacrifice.
It's incredibly inviting.
And I feel like the problem is Robotnik would be really nice about it, and I feel that would just make it worse because he's got his office door is always open. And you'd come in.
And he always wears like Hawaiian shirts and stuff.
Do you think Robotnik wouldn't have very good social skills either because he works with robots?
That's
so when you're having like a 1-to-1 with him or like a review, he's sort of very aloof and very impersonal.
Well, yeah, because it's all in binary.
Whereas Skeletor, you might disagree with him, but he's passionate about what he does.
That's true.
And he looks you in the eye.
He may not remember your name, but he does look you in the eye.
Yeah. Tell me how it is, Skeletor.
I think that's the thing. Like, I may not be able to like Skeletor as a person, but I do feel that in his hands, the company is doing fairly well. Like, his corporate messaging is very strong. Like, he really lives the brand.
Yeah.
It's so hard to find a perfect job, isn't it?
It really is. Yeah. There we go.
All right, Rev. What have you got?
Yeah, I've got a love. My love is winning. Yes. I love winning.
I knew this would happen.
I love winning. Come on.
Can we mute that mic? What's going on here?
I love winning. Whether it's on local radio, whether it's a game of Scrabble, whether I've travelled all the way to Kent to watch Gillingham win a game, it is worth it. I love winning. I love the feeling. It's fantastic.
Have you won in an honest manner recently?
Brilliant. I won Scrabble yesterday.
Against Liz?
Against Liz. And Liz is very good at Scrabble.
She's very good at Scrabble.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Well, we've got an in-house tournament going, and I'm currently losing 2-1, but I'm back in the game. It's going to be It's going to be best of 99.
I was going to say, but it's a league, not a championship.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how you start; it matters how you finish. That's what I always say. Well, I've just said it, so.
Yeah, you have said that before.
I probably have said that before. There's no feeling like it at a football match when you're at the game and your team wins. There's no feeling like it. It's like, I think I've talked about celebrating a goal before, but actually winning and knowing your day has led to something good, and you've had a good day out with your friends. You've watched the game. That's been good, and you can go home relatively hate-free. I love that feeling.
How do you cope then with the devastating feeling of a loss?
Or terribly. Oh, right. I have thrown things down the street before in Gillingham. I've thrown my backpack down a street before.
Wow.
I kicked a bin. Oh yeah, I'm better.
like,
I'm better than I used to be with losing, but I still don't like losing. You show me a good loser, and I'll show you a loser.
I was about to like add some kind of disclaimer for the listener to say like what he's describing makes him sound like an awful person. I was going to kind of step in and say no, but then I really couldn't.
I didn't kick it. I didn't kick it in a way which caused any social disruption.
No, just mental, kind of like.
Well, the bin doesn't have a soul.
No, but the poor school trip that was behind it.
Oh well, I regret telling them to fuck off now. If I'm honest, but
they shouldn't have mouthed off like that.
As for your grandma, she shouldn't have mouthed off like that. No, I've never done anything to hurt anybody, but I have kicked inanimate objects, and I've thrown a money tin full of 2p coins out a wall before, and a toilet brush.
And they never let you back into that Oxfam.
Yeah, I know. Why would you? Why would you? But conversely, that feeling of winning, it just makes it all worth it, and there's nothing quite like it. Not that I'm a very competitive person.
Based on that, then I'm kind of glad you did cheat on the radio because
you'd have been inconsolable.
I didn't cheat. I used the resources available to me. Nobody said I couldn't look it up.
No, I suppose not.
This is like one of those. This is like one of those things where the official rule book for football technically doesn't say a dog can't play. But,
I think it probably does.
Do you reckon though? Is there actually a clause that says
there was a precedent for a dog coming on a pitch and the ball was heading in and it hit the dog and stayed out?
So that dog saved.
There is a precedent for that. That dog saved Christmas. And also, a ball once this was in a Premier League game maybe 10 years ago, a ball hit a beach ball that had been thrown onto the pitch, deflected the ball, and it went in. And the ref had to give that because that was an alien, inverted commas, object, but no one did anything about it. You've got to do your own thing with it.
And that's got to be the worst day for a ref when you've got to make a call like that.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Oh yeah, and if half the people in the stadium have a hair trigger as fine as yours, like good God, I wouldn't want to make them lose. It'd be a riot.
That was the winning goal as well. I would not have been happy at all. Oh, I've walked away. I've walked away from games thinking, why do I do this? Honestly,
really,
why on earth do I do this? But equally, I walk away from games thinking that's why I do this. After we've won, or there's been a special moment, or whatever.
When you say these things out loud, it could also you could be describing an addiction.
Yes, thank you.
I'm
an addiction to winning, though.
Yeah, I might be an addict, but at least I'm not a loser.
Yeah, I'm addicted to winning. Yes, I love winning.
Well, I've got a love.
Go on.
I love a gnarly sticker on a car.
Oh. Do you mean like Fat Willies?
Kind of like that. Now, we're all trying to get our allocated exercise at the moment. We're all trying to, make sure we stretch the legs. And in going on, some of these walks, I found myself kind of walking past people's driveways. So I'm getting to see a lot of cars, and it always brings joy to my heart when I pass a Punto or a Picasso, and it's in a very tasteful kind of grey, and there's a vinyl sticker on the back of a heavy metal skeleton, kind of
rocking out,
tearing its way out of the car. It's kind of ripping the metal, and he's just throwing up the horns or something, and he's
that's so fucking cool, man.
And he just goes live like you're dying or something like that, and I just love seeing a jagged font that says
fuck pedestrians. Cars always. I drive to the toilet in my house.
My other car is a 4-wheeler.
My other car is a bone.
If you're still conscious to read this, I wasn't going fast enough. So, I just love like, I don't know what the equivalent is. Whether the heavy metal analogy, whether it's the same as like wearing, being like a respectable member of society, but then just having like your one casual T-shirt is like Slayer or Megadeth or something like that. Like, I love seeing. I just love it. It honestly brings joy to my heart when I see like such a cute little family car, and someone has gone like, "This is me. This is how I express myself." And
This is my one chance, my one bit of flair.
and they've slapped like a zombie, like giving a finger on the back, or here's a ghoul, and he's shitting on planet Earth. Look at that, and it's just so. It's just so extreme.
Shitting on planet Earth. Oh my god. Yeah, and what I like to think as well is that like it's a Ford Galaxy or whatever that someone's been forced to buy by their significant other because the family's got a little bit bigger, and they're like, I still want to put my gnarly sticker on it. Like, yeah, that's fine. And then the little child is like, Father, what is that gnarly fucking flesh dripping skeleton doing on the back of your car? Shut up, Chloe. Get in the car.
Shut up, Chloe. Your daddy's princess. No, I love you. Get in the car.
And then, vroom.
Yeah, whoa, listen to that, like 1.2 or whatever it is.
Hey, this is me, all right? This is who I am. And yes, I drive a Renault Scenic with its collapsible cars, its collapsible seats and underchair storage, but I never compromise.
But I'm still so rock and roll.
Oh.
I just love it. I love that every sticker tells 100 stories and 100 angry conversations in the kitchen.
Yeah, and they're all the same story as well. Like, let's be honest.
You bought what? What? Greg, we talked about this.
You bought what and stuck it where?
Well, I'm just going to peel it off. You can't peel it off. What about the covering? What about the surface? You can't peel it off. It's semi-permanent, Deborah. Semi-permanent. I'll get some tea cut when I go to Halfords.
Brilliant.
So, have we exhausted
Has
this
the comedy died?
avenue of pleasure?
The comedy is now sleeping.
Yes.
Until
comedy off. Okay.
Comedy off. It's like a tap.
There we go. There we go. It's off.
Okay. So onto a very special message. What one? Love or hate? Discuss.
I'm going to say love.
I'm going to say love.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Moot point then.
Wow.
Moot point.
Got a real loser back there. Jesus Christ.
Someone.
I'm a local hero. I'm like a local champion now.
Yeah, well, not now that the truth's come out.
Well, was that the truth? Yes.
yes, it was.
I'm just glad I'm not in the room with you. I might lose an eye.
I know.
The rage is beginning.
I can hear him
directly kick you in the eye. It's important to stress this. I would kick a bin and it was accidentally hit you in the eye.
Oh yeah, no, I was saying it's entirely collateral, but the damage would be extreme.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Well,
great.
This is great. I'm glad we were able to bring a little joy into the world.
A little bit of love into the world.
The world is a little brighter as a result. So how are we? How's the rest of our days going to pan out?
We don't know. We'll probably stay in, I reckon.
I think we might stay in a bit. Yeah, probably stay in. Just have a look out the window and just dream of how things were.
Remember how it used to be.
Yeah.
I might go judge my neighbours.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should do a bit of that.
Oh yeah.
I might start looking for these stickers now. These gnarly.
Oh, they exist. Yeah, you just gotta.
Oh, I know they do. I want to start like collecting them. I want to start like bingoing them.
Nick, the sticker was in you all along.
That's gross.
Look down.
Yeah. How do we get it off? How do I get it out?
You peel your kind of shirt off, and he's just got like, oh my god, it's a mummy, and he's being disrespectful to the American flag, Anyway, on that note, everyone, stay safe, keep hating, keep loving, And we'll see you next episode.
That's as close as we're going to come to a good outro, I think.
Yeah, let's not talk over it.
Oh, all right then. Let's. Yeah, okay. No, yeah.
No,
good.
the lines
we said it already. So
no, it's agreed.
Yeah, it's fine.
We're all being quiet now.